Welcome back, everybody, to the second of 3 album reviews that I did with my good friend Josh. Thank you so much for watching the first one, if you got a chance to see that, as well as watching my other Are You In videos. I'm glad that I've been able to put these out on basically a regular basis. I'm going to keep this as short as possible, but thank you so much, of course. One really quick clarification from an error that I made in this video. I was saying that the Pentatonix were a group that came together from previous groups, and they all joined together. That was a miscommunication. That was I was actually thinking of another group in season 3 called Delilah, which had a couple of different people from the first season and the second season. So I apologize. I made this error a lot when I've talked about them. So I do apologize about that. As always, if you do like these, you can like, you can share, you can comment on other albums you would like me and Josh to review, as well as subscribe, because that shows me that you enjoy what I'm doing and want to see more. I'll put, of course, my subscribe button. I'll also put a link to my friend's podcast, which he does weekly every Tuesday. So please check that out if you do like what he has to say. I'll also put a playlist of my Are You Ins. And finally, I'm going to put a little annotation for the video for Pentatonix, Falling in Love with You, because it's awesome and you should all watch it. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you on Sunday for the third and final part of these album reviews. Peace. Welcome back. So, thank you for watching the first one, and now we're on to our second video. And this one's going to be a completely different feel.
Yes, it is.
But quick backstory, because I don't think I've said this enough times. Biggest reason why we know each other is through an a cappella group called Wicked Pitch. Talked about them a lot.
Go UMass!
Go UMass. And our love for this particular next CD got us, even closer. So, of course, we're talking about PTX, Pentatonix.
PTX.
They released their newest EP called Part 4 Classics, and that came out a couple weeks ago. So, for those who don't know Pentatonix, which I don't know why you don't, Pentatonix is an a cappella group who were created, so I believe it was not the sing-off. Yes, the sing-off. That's the a cappella one. The sing-off, the 5 of them were part of 2 different a cappella groups on the sing-off for, I believe, season 2. Then they joined together for season 3. I believe that's what it is. I might be mistaking myself, but
fact check.
I will fact check later and get back to you on it. I might be spreading false news. That's a problem.
We're close enough.
So, one season 3, and then just got huge. I actually saw this, and it's crazy to me. So they put out now 4 EPs, a couple of Christmas albums, and a full-length CD of their own. And they started doing this in 2014.
Wait, really?
2014.
Only in 2014? Jeez.
That's when they started. That's when they put out their first EP. And they're well known for incorporating a lot of, so first off, of course, 5 people because of Pentatonix. That Penta, of course.
Makes sense.
Okay, so they have, so it's Mitch, it's Avi, it's...
Don't ask me, man.
We'll get back to the other ones.
I don't remember their names.
Basically, there's a bass, there's a bass, tenor, alto, soprano, and a percussionist. Would you like to do a little bit more? So I'm looking at the name.
I know. Yeah, a beatbox intermission.
Stop them! Yeah. So they're well known for doing their own different arrangements of popular songs. So over the years, they've done their own version of Somebody That I Used to Know. They've done a Daft Punk medley. They've done Who's Gonna Save the World / Don't You Worry Child, which is a Swedish
Swedish House Mafia.
Then they've done their own stuff. So like their album that came out 2 years ago, I believe it was either last year or 2 years ago. Their own LP. They did a lot of their own stuff, which was good. It wasn't amazing. Unfortunately, like a lot of the singles are the ones that I remember, but they're well known for taking an idea and like just running with it. And then we get to Classics. So what is Classics like?
Classic 6, as it said, a lot of classic songs, like the big anthem songs that everyone, no matter where you're from, you're gonna know that song. Which I think is a huge undertaking because there's going to be a lot of ears listening to that stuff to see like how they interpreted it. And it's freaking cool, man.
Yeah,
it's cool.
Yeah. So,
but that's just because I love acapella in general. So like being able to turn a full arrangement like Bohemian Rhapsody, being able to turn a song like that with so much pomp and circumstance and put it in an acapella score, like wow.
Yeah.
And like own it too.
So getting real quickly back, Scott, Mitch, Kirsten, Avi, and Kevin. Wicked Pitch people who watch this, I do apologize for not remembering that often. Yeah.
Shame.
Mea culpa, mea maxima culpa. So, it's incredible. I think it's their best one yet. Because of, like you said, the undertaking. So you have Bohemian Rhapsody, you have Imagine, John Lennon's song. You have the Boogie Woogie Bugle Boy, which is an old jazz standard. You have Somewhere Over the Rainbow. You have Take On Me. And then you got Falling in Love with You, which is an old Elvis Presley song. And then you end up with Jolene, a Dolly Parton song. And
Dolly Parton actually sings that song, doesn't she?
She does.
Yeah.
I mean, you probably, like, if you follow Pentatonix on YouTube, you probably have seen 4 of their videos are from this album because they released the thing for Jolene, they released the thing for Imagine, for Falling in Love, and for Bohemian Rhapsody. So you've seen a lot of them already, but that doesn't mean that they're not great on their own. But that's so. For people who are, like under the age of 20, like maybe like teenager right now,
the Gen Zs,
exactly, especially so like people who are in high school acapella or college acapella and don't necessarily know all these songs because, spoiler alert, a lot of these songs are from the like 70s,
our parents' generation,
70s, 60s, much younger, or even Elvis Presley like 50s. So, in
a sense, it could be like this is more or less like new music for a lot of younger
That's what
people.
I was going to say. It's a great way of bringing these songs back into the popular light and
get the youngins into the good stuff.
Because like unfortunately, a lot of acapella groups and college acapella groups, the way that they tend to go for it is we got to do a very popular song that everybody knows and do our rendition of it because if we don't do that, then we're not going to be good.
We're not going to have the audience.
Exactly. We're not
going to be good.
But we won't be
recognized.
Exactly. And I've always come with the idea of it doesn't matter what song you're doing as long as you're having fun and you're making it interesting. And that's what I love. Like if people don't know these songs and they don't want to listen to them because it's unfortunately not their songs because they don't know them, it's like I'm sorry, I can't do anything about that. You're not going to like that. But
I will say that a lot of the songs that even we sang, there were plenty of songs I knew, but the songs that I didn't know, I fell in love with from us singing it and then listening to the original versions of it. I mean, I discovered a lot of new music from us interpreting it all.
Right.
So it's a great avenue for music discovery.
Exactly. And I hope we haven't recommended it yet, but I hope a lot of people do listen to this and not get shunned away by the fact that it's not the songs that they know popularly. Like they'll probably put out another EP that has very popular songs. But going back to just the music of it, as an arranger, every single song is fantastic the way they arrange it.
Absolutely.
Bohemian Rhapsody.
Each part gets like a full
Bohemian Rhapsody is a very hard song to just be like, okay, we're going to dissect this and we're going to put this here. They nailed every single guitar part. They nailed every little part into it, and I would say that's their best arrangement. I don't think it's necessarily my favorite song by them on this album though, because even like "Take on Me" is my favorite.
Done.
It's just
the original is amazing too.
It's so
music
good.
Video
but like,
amazing.
think about that. Like, not many people are going out there like being like, I can do. We're gonna look at "Take on Me" and make it an acapella song.
Yeah.
And that's what I would love to do. Like, I'm eventually gonna put a lot of acapella stuff on this channel, and I would love. And I'm looking at that. I'm looking at like, how am I going to dissect these songs and take these songs that people don't necessarily know and put it out there? Because that to me is a huge thing when it comes to a musician. It's not the idea of just creating music, but you're a music. In a way, you're also a music historian. You're like, by the music that you're creating, it's you took ideas from other people and you're making it your own.
Yeah.
So this is the perfect homage of like, this is where we came from. Like, this is what you guys need to look at. And maybe you'll get something out of it just as much as we do.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. I think this album was very much the Pentatonix being like, let's like really dig in and see what we can make happen with, because like as we're saying, these are pretty complex songs. They're high caliber songs that a generation grew up on. And they are very complex with a lot of intricacies within the arranging of it. So to see that, I think this is definitely a big challenge for them to take on. They did it so much for themselves, and now it's like, now we want you guys to see that like, this is good music,
right?
This is good stuff.
And it's not like they're all just like cookie cut out. This is exactly the song. Like Bohemian Rhapsody is definitely like that, but then it's because it's also very complex. Imagine is very different from the song. There's a little bridge part where they're all doing like their own little thing at the same time, which is completely
definitely surprised me.
The boogie boy, the boogie boy, is very like old fashioned, but then it gives its own little funky beat in the middle of it, which was really cool. Somewhere Over the Rainbow is very choral style, very vocal jazz style, and like, as an arranger, I'm just listening and hearing all these different really cool chords, and I'm listening to it as like, are they going to go there? Are they going to go there? And they went there. They went there.
Yeah.
And that's what I love. It's always like, oh yes, I hear that. It's going to go there. Yes. Take on Me is just a very fun and different version of Take on Me. As you're jamming out.
Yeah.
And then they also just Falling in Love is beautiful.
It really is
beautiful. So, for the like, it's a very old standard song, and the way that they do it is completely different. If you guys know it, think of Hide and Seek by Imogen Heap. The idea of like everything is moving at one voice, always moving one voice, and it's all them singing at the same time. So you'll have like this little clash of a half step, where someone will be on ooh, and then someone else will be on ooh at the same time, and you'll hear that clash. Or they'll be,
and it works,
right? Or like saying on that note, and they're stepping down, and it takes it and it reimagines it in such an amazing way.
Yeah.
The only thing that I will say for this album, for me personally, for cons, other than it's 25 minutes, but again, it's an EP, so that happens. It's Jolene. So I don't like it as an ending song.
I don't either. And also, I mean, it's really cool that they have the Dolly Parton featured in there.
Right.
But at the same time, it's like, that's cool, but like, this is all about you guys like doing making it your own sound.
Right.
Like, yeah, you got the original artist in there, like, cool, but like, not necessary.
And it turns more into them being backup people to her, which is fine.
Yeah.
But that kind
it's
of
not them.
Not just that, it takes away from the arrangement. I think it's their blandest arrangement on the CD. Now, it's not bad. Like, I've looked at it, and like, I've actually arranged it for my own acapella group. So like, it's a fun arrangement, but it's a very simple one. It took me like 30 minutes to like put it together.
Yeah.
And it's just like, it's cool, but like, after hearing Falling in Love, this amazing arrangement, and then going to that, it kind of is sad, but again, it's like only 2 minutes long, so it's not like it's going to ruin the whole entire CD.
I agree. And so it's interesting, how you broke down each song and the style that it is. The next thing we could get into is talking about like who's this album for. Like, it really could be for just about anybody because every song has a different tone to it.
Yeah.
The way you were describing each one, they're totally different genres in a sense.
It is, and I do think it is for honestly anybody who likes acapella. But not just that. Like if you're an old person, like an older person who likes this song, if you're an old person who likes these songs because you're 70 now, when Bohemian Rhapsody you're just 20. Bohemian Rhapsody came out.
There's so many renditions of Bohemian Rhapsody nowadays. I think even Panic at the Disco.
Really?
Brendan Urie did his own version of
oh wow.
Bohemian. And I think they actually used his version in Suicide Squad.
Did not see that.
Nothing special.
I've heard.
The album is like better than the movie. That's a different story.
Yeah. But like, I think it works for anyone who's willing to listen to it. And I know that's very easy to say for any CD in general.
Well, the other thing is that the album, like you said, it's 25 minutes. It's very quick. And that was like the biggest con for me, honestly, is that I was listening to it earlier today, too, and then I was like, wait, it's over? That's it? There's no more? And it kind of sucked. I wanted some more.
Yeah. I think it's a perfect CD for just being in the annals of history, where it's like, this is the step of, we're taking these songs and we're making it our own, and now these new people can listen to them, and these songs won't become just, a cheesy song that you would hear on Magic
106.7. Or it's not your mom and dad's song anymore.
Right.
It could be yours too.
Right, and then from there you could be like, okay, I really like this. I don't know these songs though. So
you can tap into a whole generation of that music.
I think it's a perfect learning tool and a beautiful CD, and I'm glad to have listened to it. And unfortunately, it's just so short.
Yeah.
I just wish there was more. And again, if these aren't your popular songs, I understand that. But they're not even our popular songs. We learned this through our parents. Probably.
Sure. Yeah.
So it's a great
continuing the legacy.
Exactly. It's a great way of showing other people, and just giving them that chance. It's an accessible CD to give that chance to take that next step and not listen to the same things you're hearing on the radio all the time.
Yeah, definitely.
Anything else?
Listen to it.
Listen to it.
It's good. If you're going to listen to one song, Take on me, and watch the original music video, because it's bonkers!
Yeah, so, second one. Now we got one more for you, and it's going to be a goodie. Oh. Not that these weren't great, but stay tuned for the next video, because you're going to love this. Peace until then.